Hi guys, welcome back from the ad break. So as I said, we are going to look at a linear equation and a hyperbolic equation, right? How do we solve them simultaneously? By the way, what I'm gonna do right now, I promise you, if you take down all the notes that I'm going to be displaying here, you will never have a problem with simultaneous equations because I'm going to do it as explicit as possible and step by step by step. So I'm not gonna rush it for you. So please do go with me and make sure that you take notes where necessary. But whenever you don't understand, remember I always say, just make a question mark so that you can go back and investigate it after that. That's really how we learn our mathematics, right? So let's have a look at it. Now, this is an example of a linear equation and a hyperbolic equation. A linear equation will be the 2x plus y equal to minus 7, and then this will be the hyperbolic, which is x, y equal to 6. It's called a hyperbolic equation, right? If you wanted to make it explicit to show you what I mean when I say hyperbolic, it's normally 6 over x, because remember an equation is always like y is the subject of the formula, but you don't really need to focus on that as yet. Now, to solve this, the very first step that you need to follow, guys, will be to label the given equations. So you label them as equation 1 and equation 2. Some people write it as EQ1 and EQ2. Really, however way you label it, it does not matter. As long as it depicts that this is equation number 1 and this is equation number 2, you are okay. The second step, you must make sure that you make one of the variables the subject of the formula. But now, for me to choose which one between the two, I can either use this equation 1 or I can use equation 2. It really depends on what your preference is. But because I just want to spice things up, I'm going to take equation 1 and make my equation 3. So you label the equation that you're going to form as equation number 3. And therefore it will become x is equals to 6 divided by y. Now you substitute this equation number 3 into equation 2. Now, I know I said I'm going to do this step by step, but even when you are writing the solution for me, please make sure that you are explaining what you are doing. So you don't just then take something and hold it there. No, you must tell me what are you doing. So you'll say substitute equation 3 into whatever equation that you did not use, and then you substitute it. You will solve. There will be where you then say substitute the values into equation 3. Then you do that, you solve, and then at the end you write your solution. So it's a very explanatory process whenever you are writing a simultaneous equation. So always try to just put in that little description of what you are doing. Don't just do it, because then at times it doesn't make sense as to how do I follow the logic of what you did. So now when you substitute that, it means wherever I see x, I must replace it by 6 divided by y. So remember, if I go back to what my equations were, my equation 2 was 2x plus y equal to negative 7. So between the 2 and the x, there's a multiply. So I will replace that x by what my equation 3 is, which is the 6 divided by y, then plus the y equal to negative 7. Then from there, you expand the bracket and multiply both sides by the denominator. So if you expand the bracket, just to show you how you get what I have on the board here, remember this was 2 into 6 divided by y plus y equal to negative 7, right? So this will be the same as 12 over y plus y equal to negative 7. And then you multiply everything by y, which will then give me the 12 plus y squared equal to negative 7y. That's where that came from. So I just wanted to show you how did it come about, because some people might be confused with that. Now from there, step 5 will be we write the quadratic equations in standard form, because you can already see because of that squared, it then makes this a quadratic equation. So you write it in standard form where one side is always equal to 0, because that's what standard form means for a quadratic equation. And obviously from here, you just need to solve for y. And the other logic that some people think, as soon as I say solve for x and y simultaneous, they think that you always need to start with solving for x. No, you solve for the first variable that is convenient for you to solve, and then solve for the other variable. That's why the word simultaneously means solve the one after the other. You don't need to then start with x at all times or start with y. No, it is just the variable that you can solve at the time. But with me, you saw, I just wanted to spice things up. Hence, I took the most complex equation and made my third equation. So don't think that you always need to start with either y or x. You can start with either one of the two, depending on what is easy for you to make equation number 3 from. Now, with this one, if I solve for y here, I will have y squared plus 7y plus 12 equal to 0. My factors are going to be 3 and 4, which gives me the 7, and it gives me the 12 as well. If I solve for y, I get y is equal to negative 3, and y is equal to negative 4. Now, I just labeled this equation 4, right? But it's not really an equation. It's just to say this is the fourth important thing that you need to note. You will substitute these values of y into equation 3. Why equation 3? Because already, remember, equation 3 already had x as the subject of the formula. So you don't need to manipulate again or do anything. You just need to hoy whatever that y is as the two y values and then simplify accordingly. So it will be 6 divided by negative 3, which will give me x is equal to negative 2. That's one value of x. And then it will be 6 divided by negative 4, which will give me negative 1 and a half, right? Now, the last important step will be, or rather the second last will be to check your solutions. What I mean by that is you must check if I substitute minus 2 and minus 3, will I get 6 or not? Will I get negative 7 or not? So let's quickly do that. So for this one, it's x, y equal to 6. It means it's negative 2 multiplied by negative 3. This must give me 6, right? So negative and negative is a positive. 2 multiplied by 3 will definitely give me 6. So you can see that the left-hand side is indeed equal to the right-hand side. Let's just test with the other equation quickly. It will be 2 into negative 2 plus negative 3. It must give me negative 7, right? 2 multiplied by negative 2 will be negative 4. A positive by a negative will give me negative 3 there. And negative 4 minus 3 will then be negative 7. So you can already see with this one as well, the left-hand side is definitely equal to the right-hand side. And then let's look at the other two answers that I have, right? Why am I pairing them this way? It's because when you were substituting here, the negative 3 is the one that gave us the negative 2. So you don't now just take the negative 3 and group it with the negative 1.5. No, the negative 1.5, we got it by using negative 4. So that's how you pair them. Because remember, at the end, you need to write them as ordered pairs. So to test with these last two, it will then be, the first one is xy, so it's negative 6 over 4. Right? Oh, no, yes, negative 6 over 4 is the same as negative 1.5. And this will be multiplied by negative 4. And negative 6 over 4 multiplied by negative 4. The 4 and the 4 will divide. Negative and negative will be positive. Then my answer will be a positive 6. You can see that left-hand side is definitely equal to right-hand side. One last test will then be with the negative 2 and with the other equation, right? The equation 2 with the very same values, by the way. So it will be 2 into negative 6 over 4 plus a negative 4. This must give me negative 7. So if I multiply these two, I'm going to get negative 12, right? So not negative 12. Oh yes, let's make it negative 12 over 4 so that we make it step by step. Negative 12 over 4 minus 4. The negative 12 over 4 will give me negative 3 minus 4, it gives me negative 7. And this will hold as well. So that's how you test your solutions. Now, the most important thing that you need to do at the end of all of this will be step 9, where now you write your final answers as 2 ordered pairs. So you write each x and its corresponding y as a pair, the other x and its corresponding y as a pair. So as a pair, it means it in coordinate form. So this will be negative 2 and using a semicolon, negative 3. And then the other solution will be you using the word or. You always start with the x, right? Negative 1, 5. And with a semicolon, you can see that negative 1, 5, that's a comma. But this is a semicolon, meaning and negative 4. And that's how you then write your solutions. But graphically, what does this mean? This means that I want my solutions to be where equation 1 intersects with equation 2. So I need to see that graphically. But this is just me trying to show you what does it mean. When you are solving, you don't necessarily need to draw the graph for me. No, I'm just showing you what exactly does it mean graphically. So the first equation, xy equal to 6, will be this one here, the one that is like orange or yellow. And then the second equation will be a straight line, which will be the purple line there. Now, if I zoom in this region here so that I can see where they're intersecting, this is what I will have. So you can see I have here minus 2 as my x, and it goes with the negative 3. That's what I had there. If I go back quickly to my solution there, minus 2 and negative 3, that's one solution, right? So it means this is negative 2 and negative 3. The second solution, you can see it's at negative 1, 5, which is this one here, and it goes with negative 4. I will quickly go back to what we solved there. Negative 1, 5 goes with negative 4. So it means this pair that here will be negative 1, 5 and negative 4. And that's how you can then see this on a graphical point of view. But you don't necessarily need to do this. The only thing you just need to end at will be this last step here, which was step 9, and that's where you need to end. There's really nothing you need to do. I just wanted to show you how do you see it visually so that it makes sense to you. All right, guys, that's it from me. I hope you are having so much fun. But for now, I just want you to take a quick ad break just to refresh and process all that we've spoken about so far. And when you come back, we'll look at some more work. So please stay tuned.